Hello everyone, you're watching Janna FX, and in this video as usual I'll share with you results of trading this week and also overview of gold for the coming week. As you can see guys, this week my result was 20,000 plus and I have nothing floating at this moment, so I closed out all the trades. So once again this week was really good and profitable, even though I was warning previous week that this could be very quiet with some volatility and we could end up in some losing trades, but it ended up actually only one losing trade this week, which was on Friday. And to be honest, I didn't even like the setup as much, but I still thought I will go for it. And we actually closed out afterwards, recovered the trade, but it took us 2 attempts to recover it. But anyway, we ended up with the profit. So I'm going to show you once again my Telegram channel, which is absolutely free. And pay attention please, the address of the channel, just Janna FX. So that's my official channel. Want to show you again what my screenshot looks like, guys. That's the jump in a little bit. Here we go. That was the Friday trade. That setup wasn't as good as I was hoping, but anyway, that's where we ended up afterwards with the profit, and all other setups, if you can check, you can have a look, all closed out with good profits. Okay, so yeah, and now I want to give you a little bit of overview this week. So I'm gonna, yeah, so we have 4-hour time frame right now, and that's our week, right? So we stopped previously around 2020, just above slightly, and as expected the price is respecting this channel, right? So remember guys, I was telling you that I was still bearish with gold with after all the news, American news, and what Fed said, and was nothing unpredictable. Like I'm always warning you guys, always be prepared for anything unpredictable can happen. It's gold, right? But if everything is quiet, then it's bearish at this moment. So that's how I see it, and it's exactly what happened this week. So we had this big drop and broke 2000, just as I thought we would do, and then from that it's actually had a pullback back in. So we actually closed week above 2000. Okay, so I want also guys to tell you one thing. Once again, you might say that I have quite a big number so of the profit I made, and again, remember I'm sending to Telegram channel smaller lot size, which I do use, and also from time to time I add a little bit bigger lot size, like 10 lots I can add. And also on this movement, and I'm sending pretty much all the time the same setup just for your safety, even though I know it's up to you guys and you should use your money management. Remember again, the trading Forex is very risky and you have to take risks on yourself, right? Decide what you want to do, because I'm only sharing you my trades, what I do. And for this movement, when we were expecting news, it's always very risky to trade during the news, but I always take that risk. But very often I use one of the settings. Once again, I use my EA, which you can rent through only Patreon. Okay, the link you can find in the description under this video also. And I use usually this setting, right? Close, half, and trail. And pretty much all the settings are exactly the same. I'm sending you without changing it. But I have been mentioned before, and I'm just trying to mention again, that quite often I change close half to multi-close half and trail. And I usually use this setting when I'm expecting quite big move, which usually happens during the news. But like I'm saying again, I usually before I was sending the setup with multi-close, half and trail, but for your safety again I'm using only half and trail, but when I'm sending the signal. So this news event when we had, I use the multi-close, and what it means, that means that we have in our setup, we have after 120 points the EA closes half positions, right? So it would close some profit with one lot and it leaves another lot still running with the flow of the market, right? So for example, like this week we were going down on this news event, and so with multi-close it will, after it closed profit and move to trailing stop, so it moves trailing stop 88 points, which is about only 8 pips with profit behind the price, right? With from the loss, right? So you actually not break even. So it could have moved stop loss to break even when it would be 0 if the market turns around, but we are putting it instead of 0, I put it about 8 pips, right? So if it turns around suddenly, we will close out with small profit. I only make a little bit of 88 points or 8 pips because quite a bit in the past I had slippage, so the price would slip, and then instead of closing out, for example, with 0 loss, it could end up with a little bit of loss, like whatever, like 1, 2, 5 pips loss, and that's why I decided to put a little bit of profit, so if suddenly it turns around, we have a little bit of profit, or at least break even. And so when it does that, then it opens a new trade, again, exactly with the same setting, and then if it closes half positions with profit, move the stop again in a profitable position, it opens another trade, and so it's one after another, like a chain reaction. Okay, so it's like a chain of the trades, and it's very hard to do manually. That's why I really love the setting in the EA, because during the news event it's just incredibly what it can do, right? So you pick up the whole move with all of this profits, but the only downside is that it will be unlimited. So that's why, for example, I use it quite often on the other trades, and you can do it, but what you need to bear in mind that because it is unlimited, that the last it will continue, and then the market actually turns around, then the last trade you might end up with the loss, right? So you will have like 900 points or 90 pips loss. So how to avoid this? There is no setting there to turn off, because you don't know, right? It could be 10 of those trades or 20 of those trades before the market turns around. So we don't know usually. Let's say if I expect 100 pips move, then after the market moved 100 pips, so you can watch the price, then you just jump into the EA and change it from multi-close, right? You change it straight to close, half, and trail, and then it will stop that chain of the trades, right? And so it will be the like last trade will be going on out there, and it will not open the new trades. Or for example, you can switch off the auto trading. You can't see it in here, like there. You can turn off the auto trading, and then it will be not opening, and it will not be continue with another trade. But if you think it might continue a little bit further, then if your stop is in profitable position, so you might just wait until it reaches the target. For example, 2000 here, I was expecting the target 2000. You see it even went a little bit further, but at around 2000 I actually switched it back to the usual setting. Okay, so that's just, I wanted to give you a little bit more of the tips. I had it before, I was explaining it before, but for some of you who is first time watching my channel, then you know what you could do, right? So let's now go back to the actually technical analysis of the market. So well, let's again, guys, this the levels you can see on the chart, they are actually helping you if you want to use those type of setups. Or for example, instead of taking just 120 points like I do in the first one, and you know, during the day I add more trades, and that's how I can catch bigger moves, right? Instead of like putting, for example, instead of 120 points, could be 1,200 points, which you could go for 100 pips move. Usually on gold, during the day you might expect, well, I would say 100 pips is in a good day, right? And even further in the best days, like 200, 300, like with this move we had, it's probably about 300 pip move, but usually you wouldn't catch such a big move. So just be realistic, okay? We won't try to be optimistic, but let's be realistic, and then you count on a maximum 100, but for the safety, maybe like 50 pips, right? Then you could, for example, catch the move. You can change the setting, take profit, let's say 500 points, and or whatever you want to do, and then just trailing stop, you can change it. You can do anything you want, like with the settings, right, with the EA. So I'm just, whatever setting I'm having and I'm sending the signal with, is that's in my opinion the safest one. But you get maybe less pips, right, less profits, but usually as my setup is during Asian session, and that's why it is actually I calculated that setup more for the Asian session, when we can have those false breakouts. So you see, guys, that's basically the market offsets like 244 points. It's to avoid those false breakouts, but if we did break and go a little bit, usually takes 120 points would be just a bit safer for those smaller movements, but when the market might continue further, but usually those better movements, as you know, I was telling before that usually you would see it in European session, London, and also of course New York, right? New York and news. So that's why this setup is mostly for the really Asian session, okay? But like during the day and news events, you can like decide, up to you, if you want to change to multi or you want to put a bigger take profit. So it's all up to you. But bear in mind again, if you are using recovery system in mind, then you put bigger take profit, then it will be opening bigger lot size to cover the loss and make that big profit. Okay, so in the setting, actually, just again, if you didn't look through properly, the options are here. You can change like recovery profits, right? So it could be maximum profit or minimum distance. Well, I'm using maximum profit because it's not, that's why it could increase a little bit bigger the lot size, and it's changing the distance for the recovery take profits. And also you can have changes in here, right, where you can for example, I have like stop recovery after taking profit, which could actually continue recovery. And also we do have here another setting which is important, for example, profit, right? So I go for profit, but if you are, because my profit is eventually only 120 points, right? Only small amount we want to take, like 12 pips profit. But if you put no loss, so if you go for like 1,000 pips or 100 profit, so bear in mind that it's going to calculate it in the lot size. It will increase dramatically compared to only 12 pips. But you see, you can change to no loss, and then EA will be only calculating the lot size. You want to do it for the size of the loss, which is 90 pips, right? Because right now it counts this 90 pips we already have and another 12 pips profit it needs to make. And it might put a little bit more because I put like maximize profit, I don't know, like maintain direction, maintain size. So I'm not like changing anything of this. I'm just going to leave it, but just giving you a little bit of, again, information what you can do with the EA. You can do quite a lot of it. You just really need to test it, to play with it, play with all the settings and see which will work better for you, okay? Because that's the setup, is just a simple setup I'm using for the calm market, Asian kind of session, and more safer, okay? So you can try something different with it, okay? And let's now go back to, again, a bit too much with the what you can do. Just trying to explain to you that how you can use the EA for your benefit. Yeah, it's harder to do it manually, really, when you have to calculate yourself what you need to do, how many pips you need to count, when you're making a loss, what you're going to do, bigger, smaller profits. And during the news, like I'm saying, to do those multi-trades is really, really good. And not always only during the news, you know, when like I'm saying, like sometimes like in New York sessions, like could be really good moves, okay? So, well, I mean, sometimes saying is because you need to pay attention. For example, this week we will have again FOMC minutes on Wednesday. So, and on Monday is going to be holiday in New York, in America. So New York session probably will be, well, dead. Okay, so it will be closed. So that's why, for example, this Monday, expecting, so opening of the market, expecting, again, if nothing happens, we will see. I don't expect any gaps unless Asia, China, yeah, they are going to come out from the holidays. It's finished. And so they might start to buy gold, right? So that we're going to see what's the reaction. But Monday, I'm expecting a little bit more quiet. Maybe London European session a little bit movements, but probably New York session is going to be, well, nothing will be happening during that time. But I don't know 100%, so we will see. But I want to also tell you guys that I will not be able to do any trading on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, I will be away from my computer. I still will be looking for the trades through Asian session, right? But not during the day, because I will be not at the computer at all. So no daily trades, okay? During the day will be no setups. So I just wanted to warn you, so you don't need to, if you're waiting for my setups, there will be nothing during the day. but Wednesday back, okay, but there will be FOMC, remember, so there will be another possible, who knows, I mean, we already know what Fed said, and I don't know what the market is expecting from that meeting, again, from those minutes, but my expectation that gold should still continue go down, but I don't know how the Asian session will be reacting, how the Chinese after the holidays, how they will react. So the price right now is 2000, roughly 13, we stopped, so above 2000, we are in this channel, right? And of course, if we will look at this channel, then possibly this movement can go a bit further. We still have 2020 below. Remember how important that level was, and I'm not drawing the 2030, it will be a bit too much, but I'm expecting the price could stay just around this areas, 2020, maybe 2030, if the China will decide to go into buys, but maybe they will realize that, look at this big drop, and realize that actually the whole the picture is a bit bearish still, but we will see. And so at this moment, you see we're above 2000. So for example, if we were to stay below 2000 at the end closing, I would say we definitely continue further down. So I'm going to show you daily time frame. As you can see, guys, that's the bigger picture of this is my big downtrend channel, that's a big uptrend channel, and the market stays in the middle in this other smaller channel. I mean, yes, I could possibly move a little bit this channel that way, right? So this looks a little bit different, but I was using previously this pin, okay? So we still need to consider that pin, but let's say it this way, it's still if we will break 2000 and go further down, we would still, I would be looking, next possibility is 1973 kind of price, right? And then probably another pullback if we will go down, okay? So, but I mean, I will still leave this one as it was, okay, because it got a little bit inside it, and if the Asian session opens and China is not going to be buying, then we might go straight from that back into that channel, okay, and it would be a little bit sharper, okay, still bigger time, bit more like if we will go further down, then I would say it would be a little bit more sharp inside there, and then breaking out 1973 and maybe going, well, I mean, it still might have a pullback and stay above or stay below, but we have this bottom. That's another could be possibility, see, around 1985, so there is still possible it might go and just take that bottom, go a little bit down, because it's still that little channel we have, and then it might to go turn around, okay, so turn around, and if that would do something like this, that's what I like when gold does, it takes tops and bottoms, and then it's a stronger signal for a reverse, okay, so you see here we didn't take, and that's why it's not I'm not convinced that we will go low, much lower, like 1966. You see, it been there 3 times and still didn't take it. If we would have taken it previously, then I would be more confident that we are finally going further down. That's why in here we had pullback, but this bottom was not taken, okay, so they didn't create a new low, and as for that, we had a little bit support around this moving average, about 800, and is that for that I expect it could possibly still go down a little bit and then get higher. I mean, I can't see that, to be honest. I still can't see where gold might get that strength unless China is going to like buy it really hard. But I mean, okay, Wednesday we will see what FOMC minutes will bring us, but with everything what we already know, it still should continue to go further down. So you see, guys, at this moment my expectation is that we are not going to go break out this channel like 20. It might go a bit 2020, but let's say my strongest levels will be 2020, 2030, around here. Okay, and if nothing unexpected happens, and if nothing unpredictable or opposite will be told in the FOMC, then I would presume we will continue further down, and my area would be next again breaking 2000 and taking to around 1973, or at least to see what's going to be happening around this bottom. Is it going to take it and then trying to reverse, or is actually going to break it and go further to the next 1973. So that's how I see next week, playing around a little bit in this channel and around those areas. So let's say you would be playing probably around 2000, playing with that level up and down, and still with everything else I would see it go further downtrend. Okay, so at this moment that's how I see it. But again, I'm not sure how the China will react, so we will see what the movements will be during Asian session, and also there will be news again on Thursday for US for dollar, and of course don't forget about geopolitical situation in the world. Of course, that's all. If something else happening, then of course then we will see if we will break out from the channel, which is again 2030, and then we will stay above 2030, then taking 2050, 2066, then again see how strong, if it will take those stops and would want to stay above, or goes back and it still can take the 60s areas and turn around and go further down. Yes. But like I was telling you guys, because the geopolitical situation, yes, we might not see, because all the way like down to the previous gap, I think this is still a bit of the not just yet, okay, but going a little bit lower to about 1973 and even maybe further, then I wouldn't be surprised that we will do that, and at the same time go a little bit higher, but still not way too high. No, I don't see it at this moment, unless, like I'm saying, we will take 66 and we'll try to jump into this channel. Okay, that's why I'm leaving the channels as they are, and then we will see what's going to happen. But you know, guys, for my strategy really doesn't really matter, so I'm placing the orders mostly both directions. Okay guys, so that's a little bit of my thoughts for this coming week. And as usual, I wish you all happy trading, and I'll talk to you next time. And bye everyone, bye for now.